Are we back? Are we back? What a disappointment! What? I can't believe that just went away. What a sad disappointment. Who's back with me? We got only 5 people on. We had 80 something people on before. I'm so bummed. I don't even know what we're talking about. This working? Hey, you guys there? Let me know. Somebody type if you're there. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, what? I'm gonna check this. Let's see. I don't know. Is it working? I'm gonna see if I could see here. I can't see. Hello, hello. Okay, you guys are coming back. It is working. Sorry, I don't know what the heck happened. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. We're having such a great little time. We had 80 something people on. We're talking kawaii. Hello, hello, hello. And we're back. Woo, 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 woo. What's going on in there? Why is this not working? Lousy internet. Yo, thank you. I was so upset. I was so upset that we froze and got frozen out on our video. I don't know how. I try so hard. To just do some of the simplest things in the world. And it is kind of like my life is like the Three Stooges, where they just need to do one little simple task and lives get destroyed. And I know I'm exaggerating in terms of what's happening here, but all I'm trying to do is on a Saturday night use the internet, which we pay for, right? And then it just goes out. I don't understand. Mo should be the error message on everything that goes wrong. Yes, he should. So anyway, I don't know what happened. My internet all of a sudden just kicked off. So there we go. They got Shemp and Mo working the YouTube room today. You ain't kidding. That's exactly what it's like. I do feel like the Three Stooges are running stuff over at YouTube because it never seems to work, right? Oh, I sent the last message. Did you get it? Kenny, I did not. Type it again right now, and I'll keep my eyes out for it. It's all good. It's fun. Thank you. I'm glad. It's just sad. Like, I want to be able to not be interrupted, but I'm glad you guys are coming back. And Kenny, just let me know what you said. I totally didn't see the last message. Everything froze, and I couldn't see anything. Yeah, blame it on Schwartzy. That's worked for you. The book is causing internet traffic. Everybody's trying to buy the book. Smash the like button on your way back in. Ron, I love you. Thank you, Ron Wayne, because you're right. Everybody, welcome back to Stooge Talk Live, spontaneous edition, Saturday night, a tour de force book. Woo, 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 woo. And yes, smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Yes, Richard, I love the Stooges too. Thank you. We all do. That's why we're here. So thank you for joining us. Don't be sad. We're here for you. Oh, thank you. I just want to play with you guys. I just want to talk Stooges. It's so funny. In my life, there's really not too many people to talk Stooges to, right? So it's great to have you guys. And it's great to see so much love for the boys. So much love for keeping this alive. Poke me in the eyes. What did I do? The trash stash. What, should I get rid of this? What are we talking about? Great live. Anyway, I don't know what we're talking about when we got interrupted. It just froze. I might have been reading something. I'm doing well. Thank you, Jim. Thanks for joining us. Niagara Falls. So you should do videos of your Stooge life, Andy. Yeah, I could. Speaking of Schwartzy, I just saw the video of you and Schwartzy beating Brad Stooge style. Okay, for those of you who don't know, go on this Curly G channel and look up, what's it called? No Census, No Feeling. Curly's grandson as Schwartzy and Pagana. We did a little short that's in classic Stooge style with Curly G. You are the Shemp years in this book. Thank you. You're right. That's where I was. I just got to the Shemp years. So we're going through the Three Stooges all-star in-person show. I think I would have absolutely loved to see Shemp live. Are you going to paint something, Andy? Just curious. Probably not tonight. Next Friday night, I'm going to get back to painting that. Hey, Andy, people are saying let's blame Dermot or Schwartzy for what happened. Yeah, let's blame those knuckleheads. I think we're curling about Curly's dogs. We did talk about that. I think we were talking about, we just got into Shemp's years. Modern slapstick are Skull and Bulk from the Power Rangers. They would have made great Stooges. Okay, I gotta check that out. I didn't know that. Is there a modern day Power Rangers? Is that happening now? It's like we're at a Three Stooges study hall. Everybody, get out your textbooks. Get them out. Be outstanding students. Outstanding in the hall. Yeah. Dog story was funny. Yeah, it was good. Woo, 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 woo. So here, wow. Oh man. Now I believe I actually saw one of these in real life. Might have been a different version from the same day in Sandy Howard's collection of the Stooges. I didn't see Larry in it, so Larry's in this one. So he was there that day, and I'm not really sure what the day it is. With some time off from their engagement at Cincinnati's Albee Theater, the Stooges take a boat tour captured by the U.S. Army St. Louis Corps photographer October 22nd, 1946. All right, October 22nd. The boys take to the Cincinnati streets. There we are. Look at the guys. Could you imagine just walking around town and then the Three Stooges show, just kind of walking around, hanging out together? Isn't that amazing? Yeah, these are great photos. Let's see. Here we go. 1947. Fun laughs with the Three Stooges in person. Roy Rogers and El Dorado. Look at this. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this is an incredible theater display. I wish I owned this. I bet it was tossed out and never seen from again. You could, it's this giant Mo, Larry, and Shemp. Right? In person, it says crazy, nutty, screwy, zany. I got to find that picture and recreate that somehow. Oh, look, there they are at Children's Hospital. Visiting Kernan Hospital for Crippled Children. Look at them. I've often said we should go as the Stooges and cheer up some kids. I don't know if they would know who we are, but I mean, Stooges are just funny to kids, right? Closing that giant book on Curly's nose. I always like that photo of Mo, Shemp, and Larry with the hats on. Yeah. Larry and Shemp make themselves available to some of the young fans outside the Savannah Theater, November 9th, 1947. Look at it. Wow, 1947. These little kids, are they still around? Who are these kids? That'd be amazing. Hey, would you like to see this happening? Stooges meet Don Rickles, or the Marx Brothers meet Don Rickles. Don Rickles was a pretty funny comedian. Hey, I just rewatched Hey Mo, Hey Dad. I gotta watch that myself. It's been a real long time. And I know it's on the Three Stooges Plus YouTube channel, which is the official Three Stooges channel. Is it warm in the summertime as it is in the country? No. Thank you, Tony. Woo, 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 woo. Larry. Shemp's pants. The soundman sounds off. As the backstage soundman of the Three Stooges during the 60s, Nate Bugnick had a unique view into Stooges' life on tour. We went through that. I'll tell you a good one with Shemp. We went to a nightclub to see them perform one time when Shemp was a part of the act. This was before I was working with them. Anyway, at the end of each show, Mo and Larry would say, "We'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts." Shemp would then chime in saying, "And I'd like to thank you from my bottom too." And he'd pull a string and his trousers would fall off. Anyway, he pulls a string, his pants fall down, and Shemp just stands there stone-faced like a statue or something. When he comes backstage, Mo and Larry ask him, "What happened, Shemp? What happened?" Shemp says, "Well, I took a shower right before the show, and I couldn't remember if I put my drawers on." That's funny. Another great candid photo. I guess not candid, but, photo out in the world of the Stooges clowning around. I mean, I'm not even halfway through this book. Shemp got used to the bottom. Hey, Mo, hey, Dad was awesome. Loved it. Yeah. Is Brad in that? I think he is, isn't he? They interviewed Brad and Curly G in that. Woo, woo, woo. Great picks. There's a ton of great stuff in here. Here we go. Let's Strand Theater. Let's just pick a random one and see what we're talking about. The boy, July 8th, Strand Theater, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Is the Strand Theater in Oshkosh, Wisconsin still there? There's definitely somebody from Wisconsin in here. I don't know where, but the boys join up with another of June Carr and Ron Orman's traveling entertainment units, this time working once again with the rodeo revelers and tap dancer Chris Randall. Carr does a dance act and Orman acts as an MC for the boys' first ever visit to Oshkosh, where they're on stage for 4 shows. Newspaper ads mention that the kids could have their picture taken with the Stooges between 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the lobby. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Wow. They would never do that today. I mean, I'm not saying the Stooges. I mean, just in general. Like, who does that today? Right? Usually got to pay a ton extra for a meet and greet or something. And the Stooges will return to Oshkosh in 1967 with Curly Joe DeRita as a third Stooge. Do you like the Evil Dead movies? Lots of Three Stooges references. Yeah, I mean, they're funny. And you know, Bruce Campbell and what's the filmmaker? The Evil Dead filmmaker. Oh my goodness, I can't think of his name. He's the one who coined the term fake Shemp when using an actor to stand in for another actor. So I can't believe I can't think of his name. Whoa, my internet's so slow now, right? Sam Raimi. Thank you. I should just ask you guys. Of course, you guys are going to know. They were really generous with their time, Sue. You're right. They absolutely were. Ted is Sam's brother. So, yeah, huge Three Stooges fans. In fact, on Bruce Campbell's Instagram, I think he uses the name Shemp as his handle. Let me see if that's true. So Shemp Malone. Bruce Campbell's, I don't know if you can say it. Bruce Campbell's name on Instagram is Shemp Malone. Should we all jump on Bruce Campbell's latest picture and tell him to join Three Stooges, Stooge Talk Live with Curly's grandson and get him on to talk about the Three Stooges? Is that an awful thing to do? Or is that fun? Would he really enjoy knowing that Curly's grandson is out there with Andy P doing Stooge Talk every Thursday, and he's got a ton of fans that would love to talk to him about how the Three Stooges has influenced his career and his performances? Oh, might not be a bad idea. Anyway, look at this. Is a great picture in here. This is a great picture of the Three Stooges clowning around with some guy. I didn't read who it was. Well, I just want to be in a photo like that in real life. Man, it would have been fun to meet these guys. Oh, and here's Stooges on stage. Larry's getting the brunt of it. Bruce Campbell would be awesome. Yeah, he would be. I mean, maybe he would join us if he knew what we were doing. I hadn't thought of that until now. So look at these guys. Wow, another picture. Mo, Larry, and Shemp accent their personal British jackets with zany, oversized ties, which they incorporated into their act. Now, see, I want to know what this bit is. Can you look how long these ties are? I've never seen this. I've never seen references to this. I don't know what this, I want to know how they incorporated it in, or are they just coming out looking ridiculous? Andy, was your dad in Big Baby? Was your dad in a Big Baby episode with you? No, my dad was never in an episode. As far as I can remember. No, not my dad. So Dermot was. Dermot played the great Modini, and Curly G, of course, plays the babysitter. 1949, and it's only page 353. Who ate that pie? Wow, look at this. I don't know how much longer I could talk for. My throat is getting really sore. When I froze. I should have went and got some water. Oh, wow. You know, it's just nice to know that, like, they loved each other in real life. You know, that they were brothers and lifelong partners. There's just something so beautiful about it. I do need liquid. Is it weird? Here, I'm just gonna let you guys just look at that. I'm gonna run over and grab some water. Oh no! Dermot, I didn't just destroy your book. Okay. Jim's leaving. Jim, where you going? Okay. Tootsie. Well, this might end up being my book. So anyway, where were we? Oh, the big skit with the nasty jelly bean flavors was hilarious. Yeah, I broke a lot of character that day. Doing that video with Brad. For those of you guys seen it, it's a wacky show. It's a wacky video. It's on it's on the channel somewhere. Do you ever do any nods to Stooges in your Big Baby skits? Yeah, it's all Stooges. Look at the first episode I did with Brad. I mean, there's a lot when Brad's not in. You know, Curly has just become a part of my kind of acting lexicon. If you watch me I'm in a YouTube show called T-Rex Ranch. And if you watch that, you just look up Park Ranger Andy or T-Rex Ranch, you'll see thumbnails with me in it. If you watch, in fact, I think they just put one up. And I do a lot. I do a lot of Curly. He has gotten me through a lot of moments where I wasn't sure how to play this. And I try not to be exactly him, right? Because I don't want to just imitate him, but I want to, you know, he's so funny. He's so funny, and it's just fun to play with him. I'm going to drink. Oh, got something. I got something. Oh, Jim, you're still here. Brad is Curly's grandson. Yes, for anybody who's questioning, I'm not related to Curly. I'm not related to any of the Stooges. I'm Andy P. I run the channel with Brad, Curly G server, who is Curly's actual grandson, the youngest grandson of Curly Howard of the Three Stooges. And thank you very much, old soul. I really appreciate it. You're very sweet. You're the mini-me of your grandfather, Curly. No, I appreciate it, but that's not me. That's Brad. And when you see Brad, you're like, oh, there he is truly Curly's grandson. He's nuts. And here we go. Africa Screams. On stage and in person, the Three Stooges, Mo, Shemp, and Larry. Here's another one I've never seen these pictures of. Are fantastic. Wow. Wow, look at these. These are so great. Woo. You guys are Adam P. You guys are so great. Roger, yeah, thanks. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, you know, it's funny. You just realize that these guys were. Oh, wow. Man, I just love rare. I just love photos and rare photos and things I've never seen. And this is starting to become kind of my favorite Larry. When I was younger, I loved kind of like young Larry, thin Larry. You know, oh, you can't really see the painting of that, but, you know, basically the Larry of the classic, that Larry, right? And then as he gets older, he just starts getting more and more hammy or something. And his still images on the comic books with Curly Joe and on the record albums, there's something about Larry that is just always cracks me up. And he out hams them all. You like the Curly G shirt? Where can I get one? I believe this is in our store. If you just go to the Curly G store on the header, there's all kinds of stuff. You know, we got mugs, the Balloon Man mugs, and Curly G t-shirts, and Sprite-O stuff. And so, is that a shirtless Mo? No, it's all Curly G. This is not Curly. This is Curly's grandson. I designed this as the logo, and I just thought it'd be fun to put it on a shirt. And then people started asking us for them, so we popped them up. And a lot of the t-shirts that I have had made weren't great quality, but these seem to be really good quality because I've had this a long time now, and it's still pretty vibrant. So if you're interested, um, hey Porcupine, Larry was, I think young Larry was the cutest. Yeah, I mean I get it. Like there's something about Larry, young, but I also just love the kind of the really like this look, this kind of like mean almost look, right? That he gave. Um, just come playing the Stooges like we do. I've really come to understand and appreciate how important Larry's role is and how brilliant Larry was. And I think in a lot of ways, and maybe I'm not giving fans enough credit for Larry, but in a lot of ways, he was like George Harrison. When you got Paul McCartney and John Lennon doing such amazing stuff that, was so iconic, you kind of miss out on how brilliant George Harrison was in the Beatles, right? And I know it's not quite equivalent, but, Curly is the baby and Shemp is the next third stooge who just had his own absolute unique thing about them, and so much of the story lines revolved around the third stooge, Curly, Shemp, Joe Besser, and Curly Joe, right? That was kind of the nature of it. And then the Mo being the leader, but Larry was his like accomplice, right, in keeping whatever the storyline is, helping Curly or helping Shem get married or whatever it is. It always seemed to revolve around the third stooge. And I think in a lot of ways, because of that, Larry, gets missed. And he really doesn't deserve it because he was absolutely brilliant. Let's see, the trash stash. To be Larry is the best dry humor. His lines kill me and his physical stuff is pretty funny. It's true. It's true. I find that I laugh mostly at Curly and Shep, right? Like I laugh at them mostly, like percentage wise, but I laugh the hardest at Larry, and that's not to take away anything from Mo because Mo is just absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's just absolutely brilliant, and he's very funny in his own right. But he gave away a lot of the comedy to the others, and he kept the boys together. And of course, Mo, it was Mo's show in real life, right? Like Mo ran that, and if he was still alive today, the Three Stooges would still be going, but it died when Mo died. In that way, you could revive them or cartoons or whatever it is, but if Mo was alive, the Stooges would still be going. If Larry was alive, I don't think the Stooges would still be going. He was the driving force. Yeah, Larry's reactions are priceless. Even here, how does I don't know if you can get a clear view of this, but how does he outmug Shemp? He's outmugging Shemp and Mo here. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, they're all great. Oh no, okay. Honor Guard DC. I ran across a picture of an older Mo and Larry with James Doohan. Really? And William Campbell. James Doohan is Scotty from Star Trek, and William Campbell, another actor who appeared a few times in Star Trek. Made me wonder how it came about. Where did you find his picture? Where did you find his picture? And what year was it? That anybody? And does anybody know about that? And maybe the answer's in his book somewhere. And I'm sure if it's not in his book, Gary Larson himself would know where. I would actually love Gary, if you're watching. We need a version of this that breaks down the movies in the same way. Every filmed thing that the Stooges did. Foxy Loxy, please enjoy the channel. What's going on with Foxy Loxy? Who is that? Hey, would Robertino have pictures like that, Andy? No, not that I saw. Robertino's got an incredible collection. Andy, let's try to get Billy West on this live show. We tried. We had gone back and forth with Billy West. For those of you who don't know, Billy West, he does the Larry Fine voice and the Ren and Stimpy voice, or one of them. Stimpy, Ren, I don't know which one. He basically impersonates Larry Fine for that character, and he's a huge Larry Fine fan. He loves the Stooges. He's a huge Larry Fine fan. And uh, we had gone back and forth with him on his YouTube channel. And Brad even got me for my birthday, him to do a Larry Fine cameo for me. And we were trying to get to him that way. We would love to get him on if we can. Well, look, we're keep trying. We're gonna start getting more and more uh, guests. Yeah, we're going to get more and more guests on this show. And with the upcoming Three Stooges podcast, we're going to make more connections and get more people on the podcast. And then I would love to get them live. So you guys could ask them questions as well, right? Because, I mean, as much as I love doing, posting up videos for you guys, nothing beats doing the live. Nothing beats being able to interact with you guys one-on-one. And actually, one of my favorite moments was from this past Thursday in all the episodes we've done when somebody asked Brad, what would he say to his grandfather if they were together? And, all of a sudden he kind of became really self-reflective and serious. And he talked about that. And that was such a beautiful moment. And it's funny, I've never asked him that. We've never had that conversation before. So that, I don't know if that would have come along without you guys. That's you guys bringing these questions in. So thank you for that. And look, here's a Stooges with Bob Hope, and it looks like this is crazy when you think about it. Okay, so Bob Hope, it looks like they're in swimsuits here. I don't know. I would love to see this. Does this film exist? Where is this? We got to try to track this down. I got to get the boys on this. The boys joined the other Hollywood stars to raise funds for the 1952 U.S. Olympic team during a telethon hosted by Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. The show is broadcast live from the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles on June 21st and 22nd. The El Capitan Theater is owned by Disney. It's still there. The Abbott and Costello played on that theater. The Abbott and Costello did the Colgate Comedy Hour on that theater. Martin and Lewis, Colgate Comedy Hour. And now it is a home to Jimmy Kimmel, I believe. Although I still think it shows movies. Can I do both? Yeah, I would love to see it too. It says Norman Maurer was involved in it. What am I missing? I'm sorry, guys. I also read Mo Howard and the Three Stooges. Sorry, I'm missing whatever you guys are chatting about. Giant cake. So 1953. I mean, this is just a treasure trove of information for this is a real deep dive. This is for Joe Besser appearance that wasn't. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I know a lot of people don't like Joe Besser. I'm as a stooge, I'm finally really coming in to appreciate Joe Besser as a third stooge. I didn't mind it every once in a while he'd come on. I always loved Curly. I really liked Shemp. Joe Besser was just like, this is weird. It was just fun to see something different, and I loved him on the Stinky Show. I much more appreciate him now than I ever did as a kid. And he never did a live, from what I understand, Three Stooges performance, but it would have been fun to see. It would have been fun to see. He was different. As long as I got a chance to see the other guys first, I would have been I would have been okay with it. Just watching the Three Stooges and any incarnation of them. Even Curly Joe, here we go. And Curly Joe, man, he kept them going. If it wasn't for him, what would they have done? Mo, after Shemp, was going to go just do Two Stooges with him and Larry. But Columbia said no. And then when they went on television, they decided whether they need to keep the Three Stooges and get another one. And they got Curly Joe. And, he kept it going. He was not curly, but he wasn't trying to be, And the Stooges, Mo and Larry, changed too. The times changed. They got older. It aimed for more kids. Nate gets a new job. I can't wait to read this instruments backstage, how they did the sound effects live. Look at this. This is just a plethora of photographs and, yeah. Oh, wow. Gary Lassen. Everybody just needs to reach out, whether you're going to pick up the book or not, and thank Gary for all his work. And check out the Three Stooges fan club, guys, because it is so well worth it. No way this is not the Stooges. What a drag. The Stooges disguise themselves as the Gabor sisters for their TV appearance on the TV program Masquerade Party. I still don't recognize them, and I don't know who's who. Oh, they got masks on. Here's the Three Stooges as the Gabor sisters. I would have loved Mo, Larry, and Emil Sidka. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Now, I don't know if you know that when Larry had a stroke, it was going to be Mo, Sidka, and Curly Joe. And Sidka was going to play Larry's brother, Harry. And I think as far as they got was a treatment and some photographs, and then Mo fell ill. But of course, he also got Larry's permission to do it, So Curly Joe is a perfect Curly replacement, just as funny. Okay, Charles, interesting. Just as funny. People might agree with you. Curly was just on another level of any comedian ever. As far as I'm concerned. Mo tried to do a solo act, doing stand-up in the 60s. He did? Is that true? Stand-up? I saw this picture of Mo bowling. Look at this. In St. Louis. And I don't know why. This picture, I wanted to buy this original so bad. One, I couldn't afford it. And two, it wasn't for sale. So I don't know why I love this picture of Mo. So just knowing that, here he is. You could see him. And, he was a guy. He wasn't just his character. There's something so beautiful about that for me. That he had, it's like a reminder. It's like, we got these human moments. The Stooges survived their captive audience at the Outdoor Show Bowl, Pleasure Island, 1960. Look at this group of fans, these guys. Now, again, for those of you joining us late, we're looking at A Tour de Force by Gary Lassen, the first Stooge book to come out in the past 10 years. To find it, I think you got to go look up the Stoogium, look up the Stooge fan club, go to Three Stooges fan club on Facebook, or type in A Tour de Force, and it'll pop up, and all the information will pop up, and I'll put it in the description below once we finish our video here. So the rest is out. Curly G here. So what year are we in? I don't even know what year we're in. Oh, the boys did a lot. I mean, they started going hard. 1961. So Curly Joe took over, and look at this. They are going. They are. Oh my goodness. I want this framed and in my office or bedroom. Look at this. Come on, man. What a joy it must have been to be a Stooge, right? Stooges on stage. I wish I could have seen them. I just want to know what they did. I want to know what their act was, how long they were on for. I'm sure that a lot of that's in here, right? Look at this. Free with every mission to see the Three Stooges meet Hercules. Genuine Three Stooges magic motion telescopic rings. What are these? I've never seen this. I mean, I've seen the kind of the flicker rings with Mo, Larry, and Curly, but I've never seen Curly Joe flicker rings from this. This can't be. This window card promoted a flicker ring giveaway that coincided with the theatrical release of the Three Stooges Meet Hercules, 1962. I wonder, is that the classic flicker rings that we know of? This doesn't look like it. It looks different. I got to do some research on that. I have not seen those rings. Late 50s. Yeah, we're looking at early 60s, guys, at this point. So, look, they come in here. They're in togas. It just must have been so much fun. And look, no sets. No sets. They just came in, did a little act, smacked each other around, did some funny bits. The RKO tour covered ground in 4 New York boroughs, several towns, and nearly 30 theaters. Here we go again. Like, here we go. Mo's funny. Nobody outmugs Larry, right? I mean, it's a great book. Hey, Andy, did you ever get that ring Curly wore for Brad? No. I mean, it was like, I think it sold for like $8,000 or something. I couldn't even bid on it. I couldn't, I wanted to. For those of you who don't know, there is a ring that belonged to Curly that Shemp got when Curly passed away. And Shemp's wife, Babes, sold it. And it went up for auction, I guess, last year. And it was a gold ring. So it was worth a lot just because of the nature of the ring itself. And then it was Curly's. And there's not a lot of Curly stuff out there, stuff that he owned. And for those of you who don't know, Brad, Curly G, got nothing from his grandfather, like owns nothing. Doesn't own the rights, doesn't have any family heirlooms. There might be 3 or 4 pictures that he got, but he has absolutely nothing. So I managed to find and track down a picture of Brad's grandmother clowning around with the Stooges and get the original one that Mo owned. And we got it at an auction. Now, far be it from me, it's none of my business. I think most families should have given it to Brad, but they didn't. So, um, so we ended up getting that. But man, I wanted to get that ring, and you could see it. Curly wore it in An Ache in Every Steak, the one with the steps, and he goes up the steps up and down with the ice block, and then goes in and they make the chicken and put blow up the cake and stuff like that. So he's wearing it in that. And also selfishly, I feel such a connection to Curly, kind of playing him. I just wanted to try it on once myself. And by the way, those of you who can say old soul, I wish I could help Brad. You are. Honestly, just by subscribing to the channel, just by commenting, going back and watching some of the other interviews, maybe if an ad comes, let it run for whatever. It's just like Brad doesn't want anything. He doesn't want, as much as I'm sure that ring would mean something to him, he doesn't want that. He wants his daughter to be healthy, right? He wants to keep the legacy alive. He wants to keep the laughter going. I think he's at the stage where he just wants to make sure that the Stooges continue on, right? And because of so many things that happened to him in his life and how he didn't even know he was Curly's grandson and how it was kind of kept from him and that side of the family was kept from him and all the lawsuits that he had nothing to do with. He really had to keep this side of him bottled up. There's an interview I did with him on the Andy Makes Movies YouTube channel. So if you go to Andy Makes Movies or Curly's grandson interview, you'll see kind of like a real interview where he talks about his life a little bit. He doesn't want anything. He wants to share this stuff, and he wants to make sure his, daughter can see that her family has this legacy that has brought so much joy and laughter to the world. That's what Brad wants. Brad wants to know that you guys are here enjoying the Stooges. So just go back and watch some old videos that he's got up, and just keep watching the channel, keep liking and commenting and sharing. So, and that helps. That helps. Are there any children of Sitka, Besser, or Curly Joe? Yes, there's actually Sitka's got a son, Saxon, who we consider a close friend. Definitely, he's a huge fan of what we do, and we've talked about having him on. And he's got a huge collection and was around when a lot of this stuff was shot. And I think his father saved everything. And we've been talking with him about joining us and showing us his collection. Joe Dorita's, he's got Joe Dorita's family owns the Three Stooges. They run C3 with Kurt Lamont, who is Larry's great grandson, and they've all been huge supporters of us, and we've done stuff with them and for them, and and stuff together, and they've been great. They've been great. And Larry's great grandson Kurt runs Shop Knuckleheads for all your Stooge needs, and they've helped us, with securing the official Three Stooges title for the official Three Stooges podcast that we're doing. And Joe Besser, I don't believe had kids. He's got at least one nephew that I know of, who I believe is a kind of a famous comedian, and I think started, UCB or one of those improv um, improv theaters, troops. I don't know what you would call it. So uh, that's the history. And then the only ones we really haven't been much in touch with is Mo's family. We knew Joan, and Brad knew Joan. I had met her a few times, but Mo he's got a son, and he's got grandchildren and great grandchildren, and we're hoping to connect with them and be introduced to them, and then introduce them to you and make them a part of what we're doing. So yeah, I'm glad they did a cameo and it's a Mad World. Yeah, they needed to be. It's such a great. I always wish there was so much more, but it's such a great just moment. That's how brilliant it was. That classic when the firemen show up and you just think, oh, okay, it's gonna get worse. The Three Stooges even met Snow White. Yeah, they did. Are there any original props left or outfits, or what happened to the stuff from their old shorts? Man, so much of the stuff I haven't really seen anything. I remember seeing two hats, one that Larry wore and one that Curly wore as sailors in one of the shorts years and years ago for auction. I don't know if you can even guarantee it was really theirs. I haven't seen much of that. I know the Stoogium has some outfits that Mo, Larry, and Curly Joe wore for their live shows. I think they got a bunch of props and stuff. It's mostly later stuff. Did Curly invent the buzz cut? No, I don't think so. I think that's around. Paul Howard, yes, Paul Howard's still alive. I know Paul is friends with Brad's brother, and he's been a very big supporter of Brad's brother. And I don't think he lives too far from me in New York when I'm in New York, and I want to reach out and see if we could get an interview with him. I was able to get his contact info, and I got to reach out and kind of connect, and hopefully we could get, something for you guys. Is Speaking of Darren, isn't he doing a show right now? I believe he is. Darren is Brad's older brother, who met Mo and Larry when he was a little kid. He found out he's the one who broke it to Brad that that Curly was her grandfather, because Brad's grandmother broke it to Darren. And that story, that's in there. If you guys go back in one of the Stooge Talks live, just scroll through, you'll be able to find a really crazy interview where we couldn't get the internet to work where we could do a split screen. So I had to hold up the phone to the camera. It's kind of a mess, but it was the best we could do at the time. We'll get them one-on-one like this. Your books are moving. I know. They're going to fall over. Andy, what would have happened if Darren never told Brad about Curly being his grandfather? I wouldn't have met him. I wouldn't have known he was existed unless fate brought us together. I don't know. The show must go on. Who plays Mo with you guys? Chris Dermick, and he's the greatest Mo since Mo. And he's not around right now. He's in Abu Dhabi for work, and he won't be back until May. And it's a great personal loss, because he's become one of my closest friends, and I miss him terribly hanging out. And I know Brad does too. And it's a loss of not being able to create, because one of the things we absolutely love to do is play the Three Stooges. And it's crazy on TikTok and on Instagram, the amount of love and followers and connection that we've made with people. It's amazing. And I wrote a little Three Stooges short because we wanted to take it kind of to a longer form. And if he was here, we could be doing that for you guys. In the meantime, we're doing some other stuff. But If you guys want, you should really go find Chris Dermick on YouTube, Chris Dermick on Instagram. Show him some love. He's the greatest Mo. He also does an incredible Groucho Marx, a Chico Marx impression, Don Knotts, George Burns. Really incredibly talented and great guy. And we miss him. So we're here to cheer you up and slap you instead. Okay. Look, I can't believe this book is still going up. Love at first bite. Mo greets a fan in Stooge-like fashion, July 1962. Look at Mo biting. Look at the joy on this girl as Mo bites her. It's just like, I love this. I don't even need to know who that girl is, and I want this picture hanging on my wall. Just like, oh man, look at Larry taking it like a champ. Am I a fan of Tim Conway? Of course, Tim Conway was great. The Apple Dumpling Gang. When we first saw that, Roger, do I love to see that? We need Dermick to recite Han Solo lines as Mo. Good one. Yeah, for those you haven't seen, Larry Down. It's funny. For those you haven't seen, we started to do this little series of Mo Howard auditioning for famous movies. We did Jaws. We did The Untouchables. We did Glengarry Glen Ross. I think they're all up. Check them out. Check them out online. Over 100,000 served. The Stooges celebrate the popularity of Canada in Pictures exhibit at the Canadian National Exhibition in Toronto, 1962. Look at these guys. You know, Curly Joe did a lot of publicity with a cigar in his mouth. I find that hilarious. I think it's even on some of the comics or records where Curly G or Curly Joe kept his cigar. You see that with Lou Costello too. It's just like they couldn't even be bothered to take out. They would never do that in the shorts unless it's, you know, showing off how rich they are, right? They'd be smoking a cigar in their top hats and stuff. But oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this picture. I want to own this, you know, or a print of it. I mean, my goodness. I mean, look at these boys. They kept it going. Through so much hard time. Larry's wife died when he was on tour and he had to leave, and Mo and Curly Joe had to continue on when Larry went home. And you know, they went through Curly's death and Shemp's death and Joe Besser leaving because his wife was ill and he couldn't go on the road, and then Larry's wife passing away and Larry losing a son. And they just kept going, and then Larry ending up in a wheelchair and having a stroke. And I love this picture. I love it. Thank you, Gary. Another one pager that's worth the price of the book. Oh my goodness, this is insane. Look at that. Look at that. I feel like if the Three Stooges were around today, they'd still pack this theater or this stadium. Oh, I think Mo really wanted to keep it going as long as he could. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it makes me want to hug Larry and Mo for comfort. I want to thank them. Isn't Curly Joe the longest living Stooge? He passed away in 97. Yeah, he did. Was it 97? Yeah, I didn't even realize when I was a kid that he was still around, that we had a Stooge still alive. In fact, Joe Besser was still alive too. I think he died in maybe 1986, right? 93. I wish I had known. I guess I should have known. I was a member of the Three Stooges fan club. I just didn't read. I got the magazines and I was really excited to be a part of the club, but I didn't read. This is interesting. A unique giveaway from the Stooges' April 27th appearance at the Northland Shopping Center is a cardboard Mo mask. Perforations let kids punch out Mo's eyes, then peer out using their own. This is awesome. This should be on a t-shirt. I've never seen that. Joe Besser died in 1988. 1988. Who said 93? Oh, that's Joe Besser died in 1988 and Dorita in 93. Is that right? Stooge coach. On their way home from Calgary Stampede, Joe and Larry meet a young fan during a layover in Vancouver. Like, I just can't get over just like the work that this must have taken to do this. The youngest patients at the Charity Hospital in New Orleans get a special treat with a visit from their favorite knuckleheads. August 13th, 1963. Wow. Look at the joy. Look at on Mo and Larry's face. Like, there's real joy there. You know, they didn't need to do that. Joe DeRita on the grave, it says the last Stooge. Yeah. I haven't gone to his grave. And in fact, I've been to that cemetery because that's where Oliver Hardy is. And I didn't realize Joe DeRita was there. And he's right around the corner. And I do want to go visit and clean it up. I'm sure it needs some loving. And go check it out. And we got to take Brad over there. You guys seem to really enjoy seeing Brad go to Curly's and Shemp's. And, you know, we really got to go pay our respects to all the Stooges and even some of the supporting players. So saw a one-man show about Groucho by Frank Ferrante. Yeah, Frank is the Groucho. I love that people like you are keeping the entertainer's legacy alive. Thank you so much, Honor Guard DC. Yeah, Frank's great. Frank is the Groucho. He's been doing that forever. This is a great photo. Yeah, it's fun to see Mo smiling too, right? It's fun to see like Mo clowning around and being goofy and just enjoying it. I mean, he just loved to work, right? Look at these photos. Wow. So I'm gonna just so you guys can see. There's this. Really great. Oh, classic. I don't know if I've ever seen the Curly Joe version of this one. Answering the phones, mowing the phone. Look at this. Now tell me, I don't know, for those of you who haven't been paying attention, that couldn't be Brendan Fraser from The Whale. Right? I think he'd make a great Curly Joe. Mo looks exactly like his mother. Yeah, you could see it in her. Been watching the Stooges on MeTV while in live chat. Yes! Are they on tonight? What shorts are playing? I love the Gabe Kaplan one-man show of Groucho Marx. I've never seen that. I'll have to look at that up. Michael Chiklis did a wonderful job as Curly. He did. He was great. Actually, all those actors were really good. Nobody ever quite nails Larry somehow. I wish I got to meet the boys before. Yeah, me too. Are any photos in there of the boys with Healy? Early on, yes. Yeah, there's plenty. These guys. Man, again, I've seen this photo before. It's such a great photo, right? The guys that kept it going. Andy, I have Mo's last interview on my channel before he died on NBC. Joel, I didn't even know you had a channel. We're going to find that. Thank you for letting me know that. We're going to check it out. Here we go. Guys, Larry looking fine in LA. Smiles for his cameras in Hawaii, August 1964. LA County Fair, Pomona. Oh, Los Tres Chiflados. A promotion poster for the boys' December 1964 appearance at San Juan's Hiram Bithorn Stadium. Yep. So Los Tres Chiflados. Look at that. You're not too far from the Stoogium. Ordered a few things from them. Great. Did you get the book? Larry's voice is hard to do. He's got that Philly accent on top of the unique way he talks. I know it. Andy, we got that. Is it true that I was in tears when Brad started to cry at Curly's grave. Yeah, that was emotional. I did too. I've seen him cry twice. That time and the one time we went during COVID to the stage where the Stooges shot. I haven't posted that video yet. I've been working on it for you guys. I didn't really know if anybody would be interested, and now I know. So I'm going to put that up so you guys can see it. It's really kind of a mess. We weren't supposed to be there. We had to wear, we're outdoors. We had to wear these masks. I mean, it was during COVID, and it was kind of rough situation. But I got a video, so I think you guys will get a kick out of it. 1966. Look, they're still going in 1966. Let's see what year they started. What year did they start going? Where they're on tour? Let's see. 1929. I believe this is really where this. Let's see. Is it even earlier? 1928. This is year by year, just as Ted Healy in the early years. So let's say it's 1929. What did I say? 1967. They're still going. That's crazy. These brightly colored coats, now on display at the studio, were worn by the Stooges as personal appearances from the 1967 to 1969. Yeah, here we go. The studio, which I have not been to. And I need to go. And we need to interview and talk to Gary because I'm sure we could do an 8-hour Stooge live with him. And we still wouldn't be able to cover everything that I'd want to know and you guys would want to know and Curly G would want to know. 1968, we're still going. My guess is it ends in 1969, right? Mo suffering through a bad hair day. Wow, I've never seen Mo look like this. It's kind of crazy. Didn't Mo start near or at Coney Island? Yeah, that's right. He was just a kid. The Stooges will never die. Ted Healy looks like Steve Martin. I actually always thought Steve Martin could play Shemp. That physically he looks a lot like Shemp. So that's an interesting thought. Don't forget to post a visit to the Stooges stage, please. I'm sorry. I know, Sue. I got to finish editing it. I want to cut it up and throw it up, and I really got to do that. They used to perform at Rye Playland back in the 60s in New York. Is that still there? I feel like that's still there. 1969. I have a feeling. Look at this great photo of the boys. Left unsupervised backstage at St. Louis Arena, the boys play around to sound effects instruments. Close-up pictures of the instruments can be found on page 435. Yeah, I want to look more at that because that's one thing when we were doing our live Three Stooges show, trying to get the sound effects. I always felt like the true fourth Stooge is the sound effects, right? When you don't see them, they're missing. Columbia really did it right. And we had a keyboard that would play the effects, and there was a delay, and it wasn't easy to work. So I kept wanting to figure out, I really wanted to perfect it. And outside of Brad and Dermick, nobody cared. Nobody cared to get that right. And it was such a letdown to me, not to throw anybody under the bus who was on that show, but it was such a letdown to me that that wasn't taking into account the quality of the show, because the effects are they're so important. They change how you react to the Stooges, right? It's just like you expect it. It's like Curly doing on Yik Yak or Woo Woo Woo. Like when you hit Curly, it sounds a certain way, period. So if that's gone, you're missing a major element to the Stooges, in my opinion. I thought Larry didn't want none of that movie. I thought Larry. Let's see. I think it's a pun. Yeah, Larry David loves the Stooges, and he's great. He's great. A Foley board. I don't know if I've seen one. This is another great live photos. So again, we're checking out a Tour de Farce, the first new Three Stooges book to come out in 10 years by Gary Lassen, who runs the Three Stooges fan club. Check out Facebook, threestooges.net, the Stoogium. I'm sure you'll be able to find the book. Or I believe, like I said, it had its own website, atoydefarce.net. And here we go. On January 9, 1970, Larry Fine suffered a major stroke, leaving his speech badly slurred and his body confined to a wheelchair. This proved to be the end of the Three Stooges film and touring career. A few projects attempted to revive the act with character actor Emma Sicca replacing Larry, but did not come to fruition. I'll leave it there. And then, wow, look at this appendix, right? This is nuts. Wow, there's more. By location. So this breaks it down by location. I mean, this is, I just can't even imagine what Ted Healy on his own. Wow. Oh, look at this. These are some gorgeous. Ted's leading role in The Gang's All Here landed him on the front page of the New York's entertainment section. Look at these. You know, just off topic. They don't do stuff like this anymore. This is gorgeous. Where's this kind of art? Speaking of the honeymooners, did you know the person who played Trixie is the only one left? Yeah, I believe she's 98. Is that right? She's, Joyce Randolph, and lives in New York. Mo Howard's solo appearances. Okay, here we go. 1974, 1973. He did a lot in 1973. Most, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 appearances. 2 appearances in 1972, 1 in 1970. 1 in 1966 in Mumbai, India. That's crazy. 62, 58, 1944. Interesting. North Hollywood, California. Now, here we go. The trophy presented to Mo for his 1966 appearance at the Temple Beth AM Men's Club, Father, Son, Daughter Night. Mo visits the studios, Channel 1929 in Philadelphia. On stage at the Walt Whitman Theater, April 29, 1973. Larry Fine solo appearances. Whoa. Oh, boy, they're going back to 1923. The Haney sisters. Look, this is literally everything you need to know. Now, I wonder if just by going through this, you could figure out where they met. I'm sure Gary's got it in here, which I think was much debate. Larry posed with a violin in this portrait inscribed to his parents and signed as Lou. Oh, look at this. Look, 1910s. How young Larry is. I know. Mo looks cute in his 70s. Mo in India. Can you imagine? I want to read more about that. I hope there's more about that. This is Larry? Get out of here. Mid-1920s portrait shot of Larry Fine as he looked during his performing days with the Haney sisters. And everyone knows, I think, he married one of the Haney sisters. Look at that. Wow. Oh, Larry. You just got to love Larry. Look at him. Larry makes a personal appearance at an unknown elementary school where he leads a special story time for the kids in 1970. Early 1970s. Look, he's just in a wheelchair reading to the kids. They all love the kids. Wow. Shemp Howard solo appearances. I really am excited about going through this. Joe Besser, late 1920s. Wow. He looks so thin and young. As a believer of the preservation of history, nothing warms my heart more than you guys working hard to showcase the Three Stooges in their entirety. Thank you, Blocky Gamer. Yeah, me too. I mean, you guys, but it's like you guys are helping, right? Like without someone like Gary, without you guys supporting it, without you guys watching us, it's to me, it's important too. I want this brought so much joy to so many people. I want this to be available, and I want other people to discover the joy. It's clean humor, it's fun humor. It bridges the gaps in generations, So, and this is, just an absolutely a beautifully absurd amount of work that Gary did. I'll read about the author. An acknowledged expert on the Three Stooges. Gary Lassen has been president of the Three Stooges fan club since 1986 and is a member of Larry Fine's family. He's done countless radio and TV interviews over the years and has emceed many Three Stooges film festivals and events. He's also founder and curator of the Stoogium, the nation's only Three Stooges museum located in Ambler, Pennsylvania. Born in Japan, the son of a U.S. serviceman, Gary grew up in the Philadelphia area. He received a BA in economics and political science from Brandeis University and an MBA from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. He is also an inactive CPA in the state of Pennsylvania. In real life, Gary is now retired after many years of employment as a vice president of finance for a national direct mail catalog company, but still continues to operate the Three Stooges fan club and Stoogium. And everybody needs to go thank Gary, whether you get the book or not, and thank him just for all his work, because I'm learning so much by going through the magazine. I'm learning so much by going through his Facebook page and his, I believe, threestooges.net is also him. And now his book, and just, keeping us alive. Again, final free plug for Gary and a Toy to Farce. By Gary Lesson. And thank you, Chris Dermick, Mo Howard, for letting me steal and play with your book. And thanks, guys, for joining me and letting me do that, because I really wanted to open it and look at it. And I'm glad I did it with you guys, Let's see. Yeah, Brad wears glasses, so it's hard for him to read. Jim, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Just a Toy to Farce. I think at toytofarce.net, Three Stooges fan club page on Facebook. I'm sure you'll find it. Guys, you were so great. This was such a great time. I'm glad we did this. So, obviously this was kind of what I got planned for next Thursday. Brad's not going to be here. Chandler might join us. I reached out to Sandy to maybe see if she's going to be around. If nobody could join us, we'll find something to talk about. There's plenty Stooge stuff to talk about. Don't bring a hip. And I think next Friday, I'm going to try to do another watch and paint and hangout session with you guys. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And we do got to go through the comments. There's so many comments, and Brad gets very distressed that he's not able to respond to every one of them. And we were talking the other day and said, maybe we should go read these comments together and discuss them and talk to them, and you could respond that way. So I think maybe we're going to add a little segment where we go through comments and things we want to respond to and actually talk them and tell you guys directly. Thank you so much. So I think that's it. Niagara Falls. Do you need a babysitter for Brad to keep him out of trouble? Yeah, he's going to Florida. So you keep your watch out in the news for a crazy man in Florida coming up. And I love you guys. You guys are the best. Thanks for joining me for spontaneous Saturday night Stooge Talk Live, going through a Toy to Farce with some nonsense with our internet and, me not having enough water to drink and my throat is getting raspy. We thank you guys so much. I had so much fun. Woo, 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 woo. We'll see you next Thursday. See you next Friday. I'm going to try to post some new shorts and stuff. In the meantime, check out some of the videos on the channel. I know there's plenty that you guys haven't had a chance to see, because I could tell by the amount of people that have viewed some of the stuff. So we got a lot of great stuff. Just keep watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and keep stooging. From now until next week. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo.